Hello everybody, I hope you are having a fantastic Wednesday. We're back. Sorry about missing last week. Unfortunately, sometimes things like that happen, but we're here. We're going to be talking all things cord cutting. There sure is a lot of news. AT&T has confirmed that DirecTV Now is not their main focus. The DirecTV Now streaming beta box is just a beta test for the new DirecTV Thin client that's coming out. And more. Omniverse is shutting down. They're blaming their partner for any potential piracy, I guess is what we can say on it. There's over 100 over-the-air networks and more. So there's so much to talk about. Let's also talk about your cord cutting related questions and see if we can help you break free from the high-cost cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. So let's dive into it. If you have a question, leave it here. If you're joining us and you're watching this on replay, because we put these up on demand after we do the show, feel free to join us every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube and we'll do our best to answer your questions for the last hour. All right, everybody, let's dive into this. So, Reliance, good to see you here, and thank you so much for being a supporter of the channel. Thanks for being a subscriber. Really do appreciate it. So I'm going to put this on Facebook real quick so everybody knows we're live. I think we're got at the bar on the website. I think we're on Twitter. Let's do this. And again, if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. All right, last place, the Facebook group. Someday I'll figure out a better way to automate this so we don't have to do this jump around the beginning, but it gives people time to come and join us. So I had a great trip. Travel home was perfect. American Airlines got us everything on time, smooth as can be, no problems. So very, very fun, easy day. So it's always great when that happens. Usually when I'm traveling, it seems like I get a lot more trouble on my trips. So it's good to have that happen. NYC, my vacation was very good, but surprisingly cold. So it's good to be home. It was great to get in Texas and be like, hey, it's over 70. When I was in Michigan, I think it was only like 2, maybe 3 days where it was over 70. It was in the 60s. I think we had one day where it spent most of the day in the 50s. So very happy to be home. Mule, Robert, Tom, Martin, hey, everybody. Duff, I really appreciate your support. It's great to have you all here. All right. So, yeah, let's dive into it. Again, like I said, if you're joining us now, a lot of news today. AT&T's confirmed that their DirecTV Now streaming box is just a beta test for the DirecTV Thin box. So that DirecTV Now users right now are basically just beta testers. DirecTV Now is no longer AT&T's main focus, according to the CEO of AT&T. And they've pretty much made it clear that, we're going to have DirecTV Now, but for now it's not the biggest. And Omniverse is shutting down. There's over 100 over-the-air TV networks. YouTube TV is rolling out an updated user interface with some abilities to make it easier to fast forward and more. I did get a 100-degree temp today. I think the heat index was 100. I'm not sure of the actual air temp, but it's beautiful. Love it. We'll rather have 100 than to have it be almost the end of June and have it still be in the low 60s. So I'm loving it. Mule, I'm glad you enjoyed the view from the cottage we rented. Reliance, so did you talk shop? Talk shop on what? Give me a little bit more. Yeah, I guess Michigan waited to get beautiful until after I left. So if you have any questions, anything in particular you want to talk about, rather than be the news or your cord cover situation, leave us a comment. I'd love to know. A lot of people are leaving feedback how many channels they get. MG says he gets 173 channels with over-the-air antenna. Where do you live, MG? I'd love to hear that. Robert says he gets 20. I'm getting about 47 right now, so I'd love to hear how many channels you're getting. What streaming services am I subscribed to? Well, for my job, we subscribe to a lot of them. It's just part of the job that there are a lot of different streaming services we have. I have all the live TV services and more. I often will rotate them to test them. So I'm probably a bad example. What streaming services do you subscribe to? Leave us a comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. 32 over there channels. Richard says, Tim says he's got 28, a different Richard. 24 channels, 50 channels in Cincinnati, Erie, Pennsylvania, 75 degrees outside. That's pretty beautiful. That's about perfect summer golf weather, if you ask me. Well, thank you. I did get that tweet about Showtime offering 3 months of free, YouTube TV offering 3 months free Showtime. We did post about that, I want to say about a week ago or so. They started rolling out. It seems like they're rolling out in steps. DFW says IMDb TV, you mentioned earlier, has some really good movies. Yeah, Amazon's free movie service is a pretty good option if you have it. Martin says Locast, the free service that streams basically your local channels for free online, has added 2 new towns in South Dakota. Yeah, so basically the entire state of South Dakota has been added. They supported 2 channels. I guess they had some type of sponsor or partner up there, out there that was made it all possible, basically is what they said. So South Dakota, if you live in there, you can now use Locast to watch your locals. For free technically, $5 a month if you don't want to get pestered for a donation. Robert says, how do I get more sub-channels for my city? You got to talk to your local TV stations. There's a bandwidth issue a little bit, but look for more and more over-there TV stations to be coming across the area. All right. Tim says, it's crazy that Fubo TV is adding more channels. How long is Fubo going to be able to sustain all the channels and still keep the price down? Well, they just had a price hike recently. So from my understanding, that price hike was in with consideration of adding more channels like we're getting now. Any plans to transition current DirecTV Now subscribers to the new Warner Media app? From according to the AT&T's CEO of communications, I think it was one of the AT&T CEOs. They have several. AT&T intends to merge DirecTV Now into Warner Media's new streaming service eventually. Now that means it probably won't happen at launch. I already saw people say, "Oh, but how can it be $16?" and they do that. It probably won't be $16. The reality is, it will probably be much more like a Hulu with live TV situation, where the Warner Media service will launch at $16 or $17 according to reports. Includes HBO, Cinemax, tons of Warner content. And then if you want to, you'll be able to add live TV in it with what used to be DirecTV. Now, if I had to put money down on it, my personal opinion would be that DirecTV Now, like they said, is merging into the new Warner Media streaming service. They said it'll have one app with one unified user interface and one unified search. I would fully expect that to be the death of DirecTV Now as we know it, and the launch of something new. That'll probably be the best way to understand that. Now, with that said, it's probably not going to happen right away. They were very clear eventually that will happen. So I am not expecting AT&T to merge DirecTV Now in day one when Warner Media launches. But they have made it very clear that they will do that. AT&T CEO today said that DirecTV Now is not their main focus anymore. He says one of many services they offer, but no longer their main focus. So just keep that in mind. Luke, what's the best whole home antenna that I can get? Whole house antennas, I'm assuming you mean antenna that connects to multiple devices. There's many ways to do that. Of course, any antenna can be made into that. You have the Air TV player, which is a little device you connect your antenna and stream it out. You could get a something, for instance, like a Tableau DVR or a HD home run and connect your antenna into that, connect that to your internet service, and then you have the ability to go and have internet on have your antenna streamed over the internet to all the TVs in your home. What brand antennas would I recommend? I would recommend probably RCA is a good one, Winegard, Antennas Direct, Mohu, and many others out there that probably, there's one more I can't remember the name of. So there's some many great brands. Get the one that's good for you and go from there. But again, if you want a whole home antenna, my recommendation is, you could wire it into your existing cable ones if you're not using your copper cables through your walls for internet or something like that. But then you look at something like a Tableau DVR, an HD home run, etc. Do you need an antenna per TV for local channels? No, like I was just talking about, BB, you can connect one antenna to a device like a tablet or DVR and stream it out across multiple devices. What are the best free live streaming services? Well, a few of the more popular ones are like the Roku channel, Tubi, Crackle, Zumo, Pluto TV, and more. So those are just a few. If anybody has one that they want to recommend, please keep it to the official, like Roku or Apple TV channel or Apple TV App Store, so we can stay away from any piracy ones. But leave us a comment. Let us know what's your favorite free streaming one. Best indoor antenna, those same brands I would recommend: Mohu, WineGuard, RCA, Antennas Direct, and more. They do offer a pretty good product right there. There's other brands out there. All right, Luke, any news on the ability for Sling TV to start offering live pause across all of their networks? I'm sure they'll love it. They'll need to renegotiate with Disney before they can do that. Disney is the main holdup there. Hi, Luke. I've been using YouTube TV and Philo free trial, and those live TV services are really good. My problem is Philo is that there's no app for Android. They do say Android's coming. It just hasn't happened. Hopefully very soon Philo will be adding Android support in the near future. How important is Android TV security updates? I would recommend you uninstall the updates for all players. Roku pretty much automatically does it without you even noticing, though you can force it to do it. You can manually say, hey, Roku, go do it right now. But no, you don't necessarily need to worry about it. But for Android TV, I would definitely, if it has an update, run the update. Luke, any update on the PlayStation View Turner deal? No. I emailed PlayStation View and Sony today. They did not return emails for comment on that. And they are, at this time, still listing it as needing to have a deal. They list on their site that Turner, NBC Universal, and two others are all subject to being dropped from PlayStation View by the end of the year, or the end of the month. Discovery being one of them. Pluto TV does work with Chromecasts, but for phones and tablets, that doesn't help anything, sadly, Rob. Had a conversation with a fellow Twitter. NYC says, somebody on Twitter says that she predicts that Hulu will eventually be discontinued. Do you see that? No, Disney has been very clear that Disney Plus is going to be family-friendly focused. Hulu will be more adult-focused content. Not like adult red light district, but a more mature R-rated stuff. Now, very strangely, Disney Plus will have The Simpsons, which I expected to go to Hulu. But they will have every single Simpsons episode out there. That's great. But from all word is Hulu and Disney Plus will continue. Remember, for at least the next 3 to 4 years, NBC Universal owns part of Hulu. So they will likely not be dropping it anytime soon. Angel said, Fubo TV added new channels. Yes, they added 13 new Discovery-owned channels. And we have a post over at corecarsnews.com with full details on that if you want to learn more. So if you're new here, see a lot of new faces every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. We're live right here on YouTube answering your core card related questions. Of course, I do daily core card Q&As or breakdowns of the biggest news. We also have reviews and more. I have some YouTube video work projects in the works right now. So make sure you go over to our YouTube channel if you're not watching this somewhere else, Core Cars News, or youtube.com/CoreCarsNews. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification so you don't miss any of our videos. It really does help us, and hopefully we can help you. Evan, the vacation was very good. Unfortunately, way too cold. Way too cold. Any word of the PlayStation View having ATSC 2.0 or 3.0 tuners? No, no word on PlayStation, the new PlayStation or the new Xbox supporting over-the-air TV. Would be actually surprised if they did do that, to be honest. I'm not expecting them to support over-the-air TV. Luke, do you think Cozy TV will get their own app like Comet? Very possible. Somebody remind me, wasn't Cozy and Stir? Or am I confusing that with another one? I would not be surprised at all if in 5 years, most of the free over-the-air TV stations are also streaming online. Luke, what do you think of the new Shield coming out? So NVIDIA Shield. So yeah, we learned that there's a new NVIDIA Shield in the works over the weekend. I posted a story over at corecarsnews.com about that. It looks like the only difference at this time that we can see is a different processor. It could really not even be a new Shield, just that, hey, we're running low in stock in this particular processor. Let's change it a little bit to offer that processor. The remotes, everything, all the other specs looks exactly the same. Now, the thing to remember here is that could be very well placeholder data, because this came up in an internal Google basically document talking about different code names and stuff. And it's very possible, because different creators have a habit of doing this, where they'll have placeholder data for developers to make apps for a new device, and then when the device is actually announced, they'll release the data. A processor chip may change, may be one that they actually need to let people know about. So I think it's great. I think there is definitely a need for a new Android TV. Google has said new Android TV players are coming. So far, most of that has turned into Android TV devices for cable companies. One of the fastest areas of growth for Google right now is Android TV is cable companies. That cable companies use their Android TV boxes to replace their cable boxes. So it would be great to see a consumer-focused device. Very excited to see what they do here. We'll have to wait and see what NVIDIA does. Just to be honest with you, just need to wait. Cozy is on YouTube TV. Thank you, Chris. That is true. All right, so keep those questions coming. A few things. Don't forget, we have an app for iOS, Android, and Amazon Fire tablets. Reduced number of ads, all kinds of cool features. Link in the show notes down below. Let me know if you can, what you think, or download it. Let me know what you think of it. Do I anticipate Comcast's Xfinity trying to change their business model to attract core cars? They've definitely been diversifying. Okay, now they have phone service. They have home security service. They have all kinds of stuff. They do have a streaming service. I don't think it's very appealing, but it is there. So we'll wait and see. Do I think the CBS Viacom merger will affect Pluto TV or Philo? No, not really. They have contracts. Contracts are contracts. Very much more interested than Philo what will happen to Pluto TV, because Viacom owns Pluto TV. So we'll have to wait and see what they do. Lou says, love your channel, but still new here. Please forgive if I repeat questions. Don't worry about that. Ask a question. I often answer repeat questions. You've answered. All I want is FS1 and NBC Sports during NASCAR season. Can you help? Yes, actually, if you go to corecarsnews.com, under Beginner's Guide, we have a link right there for how to, at the very top in the menus, there's a Beginner's Guide to Core Cutting. One of the options is the Ultimate Guide to Sports. And right there, my recommendation would be to click on that. But I believe the cheapest way to do that will be Sling TV. Sling TV has FS1 and NBC Sports Network, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm screwing that up. And it'll be the cheapest. And there's other ones out there. Where can you get a Core Cars News coffee mug? In the show notes down below, we have one. It's $10.99 plus shipping for a Core Cars News mug. Of course, you help Core Cars News when you buy a mug. Yes, that is an Army Corps of Engineers Certificate of Appreciation thing. What do you think about HD Home Run on Roku TV? I think it's absolutely great. I think it's something that HD Home Run should have done a long time ago. And I get their arguments about it, but I still think they should have done it a long time ago. It will really open up HD Home Run to a lot more core cars that previously would not have done it. So I'm very excited to see HD Home Run there on Roku. Is there an official release date for Apple TV on Roku? I expect it before the Apple TV Plus service launches later this fall. It would come to Roku and Fire TV, but no date has been announced. Evan, what's your thoughts on the SkyStream device? I believe they pretty much pulled off most of the pirated content on there. Maybe I'm wrong. It's an average streaming player. I find most people, if all you want to watch is Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon, get like a Roku. Paul, thanks so much for joining us. I did not serve in the Army, Stefan. My wife actually did. My wife is an Army officer. When will the newly launched low altitude satellites start providing Wi-Fi? Yes, so SpaceX, is launching low Earth orbit satellites, much lower, much closer to the ground than previous internet satellites, plus a diverse network of them that will basically offer the ability to have high-speed internet, much more faster, much lower latency than existing internet satellites. They say their goal is to launch it late this year or early next year in North America. So we'll wait and see. What do I know about Plex? Plex is an absolute great media server out there if you want to have a media server. When will newly launched Chris wants me to talk about the new NVIDIA Shield. Already talked about it. The only thing we know about is it has a new processor, and I'm actually not all that worried about from what we've seen, it doesn't look like it's all that much of a new device. It seems like it's more about updating the current device, maybe to replace a processor they're having trouble getting their hands on right now. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm excited. Like I said, Android TV needs an updated device and a really good one, not a cheap one. And I hope NVIDIA pulls it off. So, all right. So if you have a question, leave us a comment down here. I'm going to quickly play a 30 second ad because it pays the bills and allows us to hire more people. So 1 second while we do that. If you see the ad, hang in there for 15 seconds. For everybody not seeing the ad, no, I do not understand how YouTube decides who sees the ad and who doesn't see the ad. It's just completely random. Don't forget that we have an app on iOS and Android. The stories you see me talk about on YouTube is just a fraction of the stories we post over at corecarsnews.com. So make sure you go to corecarsnews.com and subscribe to the newsletter. And if you get that, or download the app so you never miss any of our cord cutting stories. All right, real quick as we wait. There we go. Welcome back, everybody who saw the ad. I really do appreciate your support. Do I think DirecTV Now will launch AT&T Sportsnet? You would think. DirecTV Now is owned by AT&T. AT&T Sportsnet is owned by AT&T. Would make natural sense, right, for them to offer both. So far, they haven't. And honestly, AT&T CEO just came out and said DirecTV Now is not our main focus anymore. So I do not expect AT&T to put much work into it. Like I posted today, things that AT&T had promised for a while, like the expanded DVR add-on, never materialized. And now they don't even talk about it. They've pretty much scrubbed it from everything. So I'm not expecting that at this time. Paul says, can you get the Young Turks, I believe, TYT network on the Fire Stick? I'm not sure if they have a dedicated one. Few ways to do that. Of course, you can use the Fire Silk browser to watch it, or Firefox browser to watch it on YouTube. Or you can install Pluto TV, and I believe Zumo now on the Fire TV also. Both include access to the Young Turks network. Any news on the new Air TV device? Word is that we may get it as soon as next week. We'll have to wait and see, but no other news that we haven't known for about a month now. Where on PlayStation View website can you find out about the channels dispute? Robert, I'll post an update tomorrow with a link in it. Any news on? Okay, I already answered that one. What do I think will happen to the DirecTV Now beta box when DirecTV Now gets swallowed by Time Warner? Well, Elliot, today we posted a full story. One of the CEOs of their mobility, whatever, said that the DirecTV Now beta box is a beta actually for the DirecTV thin streaming service. Now, if you followed the stories, DirecTV is releasing another live TV streaming service just called DirecTV. It'll be just a different package inside the DirecTV lineup. So you have the DirecTV satellite packages and DirecTV streaming. AT&T CEO has said that DirecTV intends to end satellite support. They're not going to launch any new satellites. When the satellites in space run out of maneuvering fuel, or they break down, AT&T is not replacing the DirecTV satellites. So DirecTV is going to try to move everybody over to the streaming version. And they're going to do this with a new thin client, the DirecTV box, according to AT&T's president of mobility, whatever his title is. Says, hey, you're going to be able to buy this, quote, low-cost device, plug it into your TV, connect it to the internet and then stream DirecTV through that. So everybody who's beta testing those DirecTV Now boxes, I have one. I was one of the very first people to get it. Will also have the basically have the box that's going to be used for DirecTV. Now I anticipate that to remove confusion between DirecTV Now streaming and DirecTV streaming, DirecTV Now will be rebranded into the Warner Media service. The DirecTV boxes may or not support it at that time. We'll have to wait and see. Matt, everything is great. Better late than never. Good to have you here. Why do I have to activate Pluto TV? I haven't ever seen having to activate it. I'll look into that. But you can create an account, I believe now, to do things like have favorites. So you can have like, hey, here's all the channels that are my favorites, so I don't have to scroll through there all the time. Richard says, is the Roku 3 dead? No, Roku 3 is still very popular, still a very great option for cord cutters. If you have the Roku 3 and it's giving you everything you want, I would continue to use that. What happened to the Vizio SmartCast 3.0 update in the spring? I am under the impression that that has started to roll out, but I'll have to double check that. All right, keep those questions coming, and we're going to do our best to answer as many as we can and talk about all things cord cutting. And again, I see a lot of new people. Hey, do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification if you have been a follow us for a while, so you never miss any of our videos. We do daily Monday through Saturday videos all about the world of cord cutting. We would really love to have your support. So hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It really does help us. I have AT&T Uverse Internet in Miami, and I'm looking at toast.net. Just wanted to know if you heard any good reports in Florida. I haven't heard specific reports on toast.net in Florida. I will say when I was looking for a service to partner with, toast.net impressed me the most of all the AT&T resellers. They've been a great supporter of cord cutting and cord cutters news, so I would recommend checking them out. Richard, they have been updating the Roku 3. From my understanding, I think it's even been updated to the 9.0. So yeah, so Roku 3 is being updated last I checked. If you have to buy the DirecTV box, is it still cord cutting? Should it be on the Fire Stick or the Roku? We don't know if the new DirecTV thin client will be on Fire TV or Roku. There's been some hints that it will be. The big thing I would have to know if I want to consider the new DirecTV service a cord cutting service or not is, does it have a contract and things like that. We just don't really know enough about it to say it's a cord cutting service, it's not a cord cutting service. We'll wait and see. From the sounds of it, AT&T basically wants to take DirecTV, put it streaming, so according to them, it will cost them less money because they won't have to send a truck to your home and they won't have to put a satellite in space, and they can make more profit. Dub Jr., I have not heard about any new updates to the to the PlayStation Vue DVR, but I'll check that out. With 5G cellular, what do you think is more important, gigabyte speed or wider coverage per tower? I think it's a combination. It depends where you are. If you're in a rural area, wider coverage is more important because there's fewer people there. If you are in a densely populated New York City, higher speed is because there's more people trying to connect per cell tower. So I think it really depends on what's going to happen with where you live. When will the new line of Roku TVs be coming out? Is it worth buying a 55-inch or wait for the new ones? The only reason I would say really to wait for the new ones is the new 8K Roku TVs. Honestly, the Roku 6 series out there right now, if you're happy with 4K HDR, is a quite beautiful TV if you need a TV. I would expect in the next couple months we will get new ones. Of course, the new ones will be a little bit better. So we'll have to wait and see. But I'd love to know what you want. I mean, if all you want is 4K, and honestly, this TCL 6 series I think is just gorgeous. But if you want to really wait a little bit. What services are best? What What's the best customer service department? What streaming services has the best customer streaming or support center? Sorry, had a weird time reading that. That's a great question. What does everybody think? Which service do you think gives you the best customer service? I know there have been studies that say that with PlayStation Vue, they're the most satisfied. But the margin was so small. It was just such a small margin between PlayStation Vue and others out there. So keep that in mind. Do I feel that using a VPN to circumvent geo-locking is piracy? It definitely breaks the terms of service. You're definitely violating terms of service when you use a VPN to get around a geo-block. So just understand they could cut you off at any time. What's going on with ATSC 3.0? Any new news? A couple small networks stations have announced that they intend to switch over to ATSC 3.0 starting in July. So far, no major stations yet, but a couple smaller ones in the, I think, Pacific Northwest. Would I buy a Roku TV or one that's separate? Honestly, today, the Roku 5 and 6 series are basically just as good as a Roku Ultra. The Roku 6 series is our pick for the best TV under $1,000. So I would honestly say that it's not a bad way to go. The TV with built-in. Now, if you don't need a new TV, definitely get a standalone Roku player. There is absolutely no reason to go buy a new TV just to get a Roku if your TV is perfectly fine. Just dropped Dish for YouTube TV and Philo combo. Loving it so far. Well, welcome to the cord cutting family. The great thing about cord cutting is you get to pick whatever works for you. Oops, sorry. I moved my microphone and made a weird squeal. I do apologize. Philo is a great deal for $20. Yeah, a lot of people really like Philo. The thing I say is get whatever you want. There's really no right or wrong answer here, so do what you want. Do you think AT&T will eventually Willie Talk, I'm not sure I quite understand your question. Do you think AT&T will eventually with the satellite service? Eventually what? Let me know. What can NFL fans expect from the NFL Sunday ticket streaming? We should be learning soon if the NFL will renew their deal with AT&T. If they didn't, AT&T still has through DirecTV exclusive rights for the 2019-2020 season. Not until the 2020-2021 season will the NFL be able to offer a streaming. Is it worth buying a smart TV, or is it better to buy a Roku stick or a Fire TV? I would not buy one of those proprietary smart TVs, even the ones like a Samsung Smart TV or LG. While they do have many apps, they are often missing many of the apps out there. I would say if you want a smart TV, get one with like Google, Amazon Fire, or Roku built in. For two reasons. A, they often offer they get the apps where the proprietary TVs out there support gets dropped. Roku especially has a great history of supporting their older Roku TVs, make it a great investment. As always, though, if you don't need a new TV, just get a streaming player. There's really no reason to buy a new TV just to get the streaming aspect of it. All right. Do you think Roku will add ESPN as a channel without having to get an outside subscription? Well, there's ESPN Plus, and I wouldn't be surprised if Roku added the ability to subscribe to ESPN Plus through the Roku channel in the future. Any chances coming to Stir TV? I'm not sure. Any chances of what coming to Stir TV? Let me know. If PlayStation Vue would change their name, it would. I'd be willing to bet that they will get a lot more subs. Yeah, I've been saying this for years now. PlayStation Vue is a great service. The lack of name, the name choice is very poor, and it confuses people to this day. There's people who've worked for Core Cars News when we hired them. They thought PlayStation Vue required a PlayStation. Just the reality of the situation. So yeah, So young people I know get confused about it. Old people I know get confused about it. Sony's been spending a lot of money on ads to explain that you don't need a PlayStation to use PlayStation View. Just call it View TV or Sony View would instantly change that. Can Samsung TVs get a virus? Yes, anything could get a virus. Your Roku could get a virus. Now, typically, virus makers target profitable markets. Putting a virus on your smart TV is probably not hugely profitable, but it could be. We'll have to wait and see what happens. What brand of antennas are good for over-the-air TV? I would recommend Mohu, WineGuard, Antennas Direct, RCA. There's a few others out there. There's many good brands. Do your research and pick the antenna that's best for you. When will Lowcast be available on the Fire TV stick? Because I heard, didn't Lowcast come out on the Fire TV? I want to say Lowcast is on the Fire TV. Yes, Lowcast launched back in February on the Fire TV stick. So yes, you can get Lowcast there. Luke, my AT&T bill seems to be going up. Have you heard of them raising their prices? I mean, AT&T's raising their price all the time. So I would say it's very likely that, yes, they are raising their price. Robert, I noticed that too, that Sony's really not running TV ads for PlayStation View recently. And I don't think I'm seeing a whole lot of web ads. So I think I've seen a few. Have you noticed recently that PlayStation View, have you seen any of their ads? It definitely seems like they're backing off a little bit. They backed off last year. They made a huge push late in 2019 or 18 for PlayStation View. Now they seem to be backing off of it. It will be very interesting to see if they renew their networks this month or not. When is the new Sling TV interface that is on the Apple TV coming to Roku? They say it's going to roll out to other devices soon. Hello, Danny. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. Luke, why is the Roku OS on my TCL Roku TV slower than my Roku Stick Plus? Depends on what TV. If you get the discount cheap TV, it's more like a Roku Express. If you get like a 5 or 6, it's more like a Roku Ultra. I have a TCL 6 series in my living room. Absolutely love it. Put it head to head with my Roku Ultra any day. But I also had a very old early gen Roku TV from TCL. It was definitely not as fast as my Roku 6 series. You do get what you pay for to an extent. What have you been watching on Netflix? I've been actually rewatching Dexter. Been working our way through Dexter. It was a little bit fun thing to do on the vacation. So that's what I've been rewatching. Waiting for Last Chance U. We're about a month away from the drop of Last Chance U. And then it won't be long until we are at the point where college football is back. That's all I care about. Just give me some college football and I'll be happy. Do you think AT&T will eventually go away with satellite service? Yes, AT&T's already said they intend to end satellite service sometime in the distant future. Not anytime soon, but satellite TV for AT&T is coming to an end at some point. It has also been reported that AT&T, once they move as many people over to the streaming version, they want to take as many satellite customers, move them to streaming as possible, and then whoever won't move or can't move, there's been talk of them selling those customers to Dish. So we'll wait and see. Now, selling it to Dish, apparently some people were very confused by that story we wrote. I thought it was very clear, but because we talked about how they would retain the streaming versions of DirecTV. It will be the satellite-only version they intend to sell. What is your personal favorite streaming service? I really don't have one, to be honest with you. I would say get an antenna. So much good content there. Season 3 of Designated Survivor is on Netflix. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. What's everybody watching on Netflix? Leave us a comment. What's everybody watching right now, period? Where are you watching it? Hulu? Are you watching The Handmaid's Tale that just came out? Leave us a comment. Why would one app be blurry and the other be fine? It could be very well that you may have weak Wi-Fi on one device and maybe not on another. What is the next city for Locast? They haven't said. Honestly, South Dakota kind of came out of left field. It was not what we were expecting, just to be honest. All right, I got about 10 more minutes, so jump on in here, get your questions in. Don't forget, if you're new here, hey, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us. We'll love to get your support. A lot of Stranger Things. People are excited to be watching that. Lucifer, Netflix, Handmaid's Tale. College football is the best. I agree with you, Danny. I would much rather watch a college football game than an NFL game. Murder Mystery with Adam Sandler. A lot of people have said they like it. For all the talk of Adam Sandler movies on Netflix being bad, people seem to really like the Murder Mystery movie. Press Your Luck. I love Press Your Luck. No whammy. Anybody here remember watching the original Press Your Luck? Oh, yeah. No whammy, no whammy. Paul, I do agree. Sony has not been promoting PlayStation View like they used to. Honestly, they're not really returning emails to press. Just, they haven't been returning ours recently. You know, the problem with Sony has always been committed are they to PlayStation View. At times they seem extremely committed, and then there's times where they don't seem all that committed to it. So I think we'll learn a lot on if or if not they renew the deals from Discovery. I think it's AMC, Turner, and one other. Either AMC or A&E. I can't remember which. How did you discover cord cutting? How I discovered cord cutting was necessity. Had a kid, college loans, car payment, all that fun stuff. Well, we went and we said, hey, that TV bill, $110 a month, that needs to out of here. So we dropped it, and really, I didn't even know what the name cord cutting was. It was the idea of, hey, do we really need this DirecTV? The ultimate answer was no, we don't. Are there any TVs in the market that are not small arts? Yes, there are actually quite a few. There's a lot that have some smart features, but not a lot. You can always just not use them as my recommendations. If you don't connect it to the internet, it's not a smart TV. NYC says, before Dragon Ball Super aired last Saturday, Adult Swim aired a seizure warning. How do channels determine which shows need a seizure warning? I think it's really up to the discretion of the channel, depending on what is shown. There is, of course, that very classic, there was some type of show in Japan that aired and caused all kinds of people to have seizures. And then in the infinite wisdom, local TV news re-aired the segment talking about all the seizures and caused even more seizures to happen. And ever since that happened, a lot more caution has come when it comes to rapidly flashing things on the screens. So we'll wait and see. So I don't know if there very well could be some type of FCC rule about warning about seizures now, but to my knowledge, there isn't. But I may just be uninformed about that. Paul, XFL. I'm actually very excited about XFL coming out this fall. We'll see. We'll see. Or this next spring, we'll see what happens. I hope they're successful. I was enjoying the AAF. I thought the American Alliance of Football was actually really good football, really fun to watch. It was very sad to see them fold. But XFL bought their assets. We'll see what they do. That was Pokemon. So Pokemon was what caused the seizure. Dead to Me on Netflix. Yeah, a lot of people really are loving Dead to Me. So, all right. So keep the questions coming. Got about 5 or so minutes. We'll start wrapping this up. Again, really appreciate everybody's support. Your support of Core Cars News has been unbelievable. We really do appreciate it. Any word on a Prime Video app will be available on all other Android TV devices. Google and Amazon have come to a deal where Google's bringing YouTube apps to the Fire TV, and Prime Video is coming to Android TV. Google has announced that Prime Video will be coming to Android TV sometime this summer. How many customers are going with Dish about T-Mobile? So it'll be very interesting. T-Mobile is reportedly bidding to buy Boost, which would help approve the T-Mobile Sprint merger. So we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Does Microsoft allow live TV streaming services on your Xbox One, unlike Sony? The Xbox One, I do believe, has several live TV streaming services, including YouTube TV, and I want to say Sling. Sling is also on there, and there's a few others. Are TV makers selling our watch data to third parties? Could be. Have to read the terms there. I watched original Press Your Luck and the new Press Your Luck. So what does everybody think of the new Press Your Luck? I watched a little bit of the premiere episode up at the cottage, had the antenna out, watching it on ABC. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun TV show. Why is AT&T so unorganized when it comes to streaming? They just don't seem to have a clear... AT&T seems to be lacking a clear vision right now. But we'll see what that new Warner Media service does. So we'll have to wait and see. Sling TV is on Xbox. Thank you. The Blind family is apparently pretty good. At the Blind family. Oh, okay. That's that. Anybody having regular issues with the Amazon Fire TV stick remote falling apart? I have never heard that. It could just be you got one that was bad or one that somehow was dropped and became damaged. All right, last call for questions. This is it. Don't like the whammy voice? You know, was it different? I have to rewatch the original, see if it's any different. They've definitely upped the money a little bit from the original. You know, people are not willing to go on an award show if they're only going to win like $500. It seems like nowadays. A lot of people seem to be enjoying the new Press Your Luck show. As I say, what was once old is new again. Santa Clara Diet, hilarious. I think that's coming to an end. I think Amazon announced the Santa Clara Diet is coming to an end. Hulu Live is also on Xbox. Thank you, Robert. Do you watch antenna TV more than live TV streaming services? Actually, other than sports, I don't watch a whole lot of live TV. Sports and maybe some news. So I would say on demand is what I watch most. Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, etc. Things like that. But I do watch some live TV. All right, everybody. I think we're going to wrap this up here shortly. Thank you so much to everybody for your support. Cannot believe we're at 74,000 subscribers. Let's hit 100,000 this year. That's the goal. Really appreciate your support. Hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow with both a podcast and the Cord Cutting Daily. So the podcast, we know we took last week off because of the vacation. Podcast is back. So Jess and I will be recording a new show tomorrow. I'll have it up tomorrow. So huge thank you to everybody for your support. Really, really do appreciate it. We'll see you all next week, Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for our typical cord cutting Q&A here. Of course, I'll be here tomorrow for our daily update. We'll also be here for our cord cutting this week podcast tomorrow. So hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of the videos. And I'll see you later. So again, though, really do appreciate your support. Cord Cutters News would not be here without you. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for a big support. I will take one last question that says, any idea when 5G will hit Grand Rapids, Michigan? Actually, Spectrum is already testing 5G in Grand Rapids, Michigan. 5G has been active for some time there in Grand Rapids, but I don't believe it's available for the public yet, but it's being tested. So you'll probably be one of the first to get it from Spectrum. All right, everybody, have a fantastic Wednesday night. Hope the weather is half as beautiful as it is here. I may go for a walk real quick to try to enjoy it for the sunsets. Take care, everybody. Be safe. And unbelievable thank you for your support.